All right, today we are going to talk about happiness. What is happiness exactly? This is one of the common terms that everybody uses every day. But again, is a very complex subject to discuss about. Why am I saying this? Because if you stop anyone, any random person on the street, you ask them, what are you looking for? Why are you working so hard? Why are you so stressed? What are you trying to get? The answer is going to be one. I'm working so hard to make this much money, then I can live a happy lifestyle. Or I have a relationship, I'm doing my best, I'm buying flowers, I'm buying gifts, I'm doing all I can to have a happy relationship. So you see here, everybody's striving to have this enjoyable moment or this happy lifestyle, if I may say. But the issue here is, do we really get what we work for? Do we really get this happy lifestyle that we always strive for? Before I dive deep, let me just start with a simple definition, the way happiness is defined in real world. They define happiness as a state of well-being and contentment, or it can be defined again as a pleasurable or satisfying experience. Just by looking at this definition, again, we are left in blank. I understand it's a pleasurable or satisfying experience. But how long does it last? Do I have to be happy when I'm just impressed with something? Do I have to be happy when I receive a gift? Do I have to be happy only when I meet someone that I missed for a long time? This is where it gets complicated. Happiness is being defined as a snapshot or just a little moment that we enjoy, which is connected with our emotions. After reading a lot of articles, after listening to a lot of people, I came up with one short definition that it can help us to navigate through our journey. All right, how do I define happiness? It is the state of satisfaction created with understanding and accepting a circumstance and moving forward with a positive mindset. With this definition, I want you to just keep three key words: state of satisfaction, understanding, and accepting. We'll come back to that later. But now I want you to keep those three words: state of satisfaction, understanding, and accepting. First thing, we have to understand that life is not fair, period. Whether we like it or not, life is not fair. Life is up and down. Today you are up, tomorrow you are down. Today you feel like emotionally happy, the next day you feel like, no, I don't feel it. But I want to go over that. So after we understand it, after we understand that life is up and down, it's gonna bring what we like and what we dislike, then we can start moving forward. How do we move forward? We go to the next step. The next step here is accepting. Every time there is an event in our life that kind of disrupt what we were doing, let's say, let me just give an example here. Let's say you've been working hard. You've been working to this at this company. You worked this many years. Then all of a sudden, you are laid off, or they fire you, as they say. What are you gonna do? Are you going to jump the bridge and say life is not fair, I can't take it no more? No, that's not the way you solve the problem. You do not solve it by making it worse. First, understand something happened. Yes, you got fired, you got laid off, you are unemployed. Understand it first. Second is accept it. It happens. It's not just targeted to you. It doesn't happen to one person. This is a general circumstance. This happened to everybody, or maybe most of the people. After you understand it, then you accept the outcome of the event that happened in your life. Then we can move forward by having this state of satisfaction. Understand the circumstance, accept the outcome, and move forward by just creating this state of understanding or satisfaction. Be satisfied with what you have first, then you can move forward by looking for the extra. This is a very big subject that we're gonna discuss for a long time, but I'm trying to start here building a bridge that will help us cross to the other side. But I'm going to give you 5 points, and these points I'm not going to give them in details. I'm going just to point them out and maybe explain a little bit, but we are going to dive in deep as we move forward. So the point number 1, to develop this mindset of happy lifestyle that is not subjected or connected to the emotions. Point number 1 is to not rush to a conclusion. Every time something happened to you or something happened to me, we have to develop this kind of a mindset of not rushing to a conclusion. The reason is that most of the time when we rush, after something happened to us, then we rush, we make it worse. We do not make it better, because rushing, it leads us to make the case worse than the way it was. Point number 2 is to sit back and reflect. What do I mean by sit back and reflect? This is the point where you sit down and evaluate what happened to you. Let's say in the case of losing a job that I gave earlier. This is the only time to sit down and evaluate. What have you been doing? Did you make any mistake? Did you make any progress? If you made a mistake, this is the time to evaluate yourself and correct them. Or if you are making some progress, this is a good time to copy the techniques you are using and paste them in the next action or next activity that you are trying to do. So if you lost a job, did you save some money before? Have you been saving for the moment like this? If you did not save, this is the only time now to learn. For the next job you get, start to save. If you have been saving, it's a good thing. Now you can sit down and appreciate yourself and start using the funds you had on the side when you are still looking for another job. That is just a small example that I'm giving here. Point number 3 is to accept the moment. To accept the moment is to not punish yourself. Accept that it happens and is not just for you, but it happens to everyone. As I said earlier, life is not fair and it bounces everybody up and down. You might have an issue of unemployment, someone is sick, someone just had an accident, someone just lost a loved one. So there is something that is happening somewhere that we are not even aware of. But the good thing here is you have to accept the moment. If there is an event that happened, we have to accept the outcome, because most of the time we do not control the outcome. Yes, there are some instances that we can control the outcome, but not most of the time. Another point here is to look at the worst that could have happened. What do I mean by that? This is where we always forget and focus on the negative side instead of looking at the positive side that we still have. I give you a very small example. Let's say someone just had a car accident. It's bad. It feels like, oh man, this person just went through this worst that we can imagine. But the question here is this person still alive? If the person is still alive, thank God. That's a good thing. We have to appreciate. We have to appreciate that the person is still alive, instead of complaining that the person broke one bone, maybe broke a leg or broke an arm. Yes, we can think about it, but we cannot focus only on the negative side instead of appreciating that we are still having this whole person alive. This is what I meant by looking at the worst that could have happened. Look at the positive in the negative. If something bad happened to you, try to find something positive and appreciate it instead of keep complaining on the negative side. Another point here is to take positive measures to move forward. I bring back the unemployment case here. If you lost a job, after you evaluated yourself, maybe you corrected the mistake you made, or maybe you appreciated the progress you made, now is a good time to take a positive measure. Start calling some people. Look at your journal and see if you have some contacts. From there, you can start looking for a job. You can start connecting with people. Just start to take positive measures and move forward. Before we conclude, let me just give you one key point to take away from this video today. This is just paving the ground. We just started. This is a very big, broad subject we can discuss in days, not just in a couple minutes that we have here, but we are going to discuss the points deeper and deeper. But today I want you to take one thing. Yes, life is not fair. Yes, life is going to bounce you and me up and down. It's a fact. We cannot avoid it. It's going to happen. Maybe it already happened, or maybe it's going to happen in the future. But to navigate through this life, we have to remember, keep a positive mindset and avoid all sort of negativity. Because negative leads you to a worst case scenario, but positivity helps us to reflect and come up with positive ideas. I know it's a lot of stuff to discuss, but remember, before you go, if you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe, share with your friends, and hit notification bell. Also, we have a comment section down there.